Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm excited about this week's coaching video because today I'm going to be talking about how to get out of your own way. So we all have reasons and excuses why we're not getting things done that need to be done. And some of those things are outside of your control. Some of them are outside of my control. But today we're going to be looking at the things that are in our control to change. So let's jump right on in. So number one, stop thinking you have to be perfect. I made this number one because I think so many times people feel like they can't do things because they're not perfect. You don't have to be. I don't have to be. None of us are perfect and we never will be. I don't care how hard you try, how hard you study. You will never be perfect and neither will I. So it's okay to make mistakes and it's okay to fail as long as you learn from it. If you're failing and you're not learning anything from it, you keep failing, then that's a problem. So some of you have a project that you're waiting to launch, but you're afraid that it might not go over so well. So you keep making adjustments to it, or you keep changing the date for the launch, or something similar to that. In the famous words of Nike, just do it. And we all have done it. We all have had something that we wanted to do and we were just nervous and afraid and we wanted to be perfect, so we kept tweaking it and we kept tweaking it and kept tweaking it, and finally you had to say, look, this is it, no more revisions, we're going forward with it. So just do it. You don't have to be perfect. If you make a mistake and you mess up, so what? It's not the end of the world. Life as you know it won't end. We all have made mistakes in the last couple of weeks or the last month or even last year, but guess what? You're still here. You learn from those mistakes and you move on. Number two, begin with the end in mind. Close your eyes and take a deep cleansing breath. And then I want you to visualize the thing that you're trying to do being a success. This should help you to move past your fear and just do it. So when you have something that you want to do, if you just take a few minutes just to close your eyes, take that deep cleansing breath and slowly let it out. And in your mind's eye, see that thing working out exactly as you want it to be. I promise you will relax and it'll be fine. Number three, before you think about giving up, remember why you're doing what you're doing. I cannot stress that enough. We give up, and I've been guilty of it too. We give up too soon and we forget why we're doing what we're doing. So before you get lazy or fearful, think about what made you want to do what you're doing. Now, if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, then that's a whole nother problem. And that's a whole nother video. So you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. If you are starting your business because you want your family to be financially stable, or whatever the reason may be, that is your why. That is the thing that has to drive you when you feel like giving up. When I feel like giving up, it has to be that thing that drives us. It has to be that thing that keeps us in the game when we want to sit on the sideline. You have to know your why. Now, some people may say, oh, well, Michelle, I just do what I do. I don't really have a why. No, you do have a why. There's a reason why you wanted to do what you're doing. There is a reason. You might have to sit down and figure out what that is. Now, if you don't have a why, again, that's a whole nother problem for a whole nother video, because you really should have a why. I don't know about anybody else, but I do what I do because this October, I say I have 30 years now, but this October the 3rd will be officially my 30-year anniversary working in the federal government. Do I want to work for the federal government forever? No, I do not. Do I love what I do? Yes, I do. But at some point, I do want to go on and do my own thing. So that is my why. That's what makes me do what I do, so that I can build my business and my brand, so that once that day comes, and I'm hoping it's like in the next 3 years, but when that day comes and they say, hey, Michelle, guess what, you have the opportunity to take this early buyout, I can raise my hand and say, oh, sign me up, because I've done the work behind the scenes to get ready for this moment. Number four, if you start to get tired, remember you have people counting on you. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I always had to remember that when I would get tired, I just felt like, Jesus, I don't feel like doing this. I always had to remember that I had a daughter that was counting on me. I have a child that depended on me. That was my reason for continuing to do what I did. And yes, I've always had a federal government job, but I've had a part-time job on the side. And at one point in time, I actually had two part-time jobs because I did what I had to do to have what I wanted to have, because that's just me. I don't want to depend on anybody for a handout. I would rather make it on my own. Well, with the help of God, but y'all know what I mean. So, see, when we're working on a project, it's not really about us, right? The thing you're working on is a blessing that was given to you so that you can share it with other people. And so I want you to think about that as you go through life. Whatever you're doing right now, it's not about you. It's not about me. It is about the greater good of being able to bless other people. And if you keep it in that perspective, I promise you'll stay focused. Number 5, stop comparing yourself to other people. Please stop comparing yourself to other people. I can't even tell you how many times I hear people do that. And I'm like, but you're you and they're them. I can't compare myself to you and you can't compare yourself to me. So too many times we get in our own way because we look at what Susie and Joe are doing and wonder if we can be just as good as they are. You are going to be good at what you do the way you do it. Let me say that again. You are going to be good at what you do the way that you do it. So whatever it is that you're doing in life, stop trying to copy what somebody else is doing, using their style, their body language, their voice pitch, all of that good stuff. No, do you. There are millions of videos on YouTube. Many YouTubers that I admire and just absolutely love. And every time they post a video, I'm there. I'm hitting that button because I want to watch and see what they do. You all know that I love Angel Richardson. Love her to the moon and back. But I don't want to be like Angel. I want to be like Michelle. But I do watch what Angel does in terms of her content and all that other great stuff. And I learn, and I love her videos, you guys. I learn something every time I watch her videos. But what I'm saying is I don't want to be like Angel because I want to be like Michelle. And you shouldn't want to be like Michelle. You want to be like you. You see what I'm saying? Just stop comparing yourself to other people. Do you and move through life. And so I only had 5 things that I was going to share with y'all, but y'all know I love bonuses. So here's number 6, which is your bonus. Stop causing yourself unnecessary stress and worrying about what someone else is doing and if they are going to do it better than you. Even if you can't do it as well as that person, so what? With more practice, you will get just as good, if not better. This is never a reason to put your goals and dreams on the back burner. There are always external things that you can't control, that I can't control. They suck, but focusing on them won't do you any good. Okay, so again, stop causing yourself unnecessary stress, worrying about what someone else is doing it and if they're going to do it better than you. There's always going to be someone in life that does something better than we do. When I go to meets and I compete, there's someone always stronger than I am. But then I also have to tell myself too, they're in a whole different weight class or a different age group. I compete in the masters because I'm over 40. And so while I may not be as strong as some of the other ladies that I see competing, I still admire them. And I know that, had I gotten started earlier in the powerlifting game, I'm pretty sure, I would have been at that level as well. But I'm happy where I am. And I continue to work on me to better myself. I'm not comparing myself to anybody because I'm going to tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. You don't know the struggle that person has gone through. See, we see the end result. When you see somebody competing or someone standing up in front of a group giving a speech with Toastmasters, I'm just going to throw that out there. You go, wow, you know what? That is awesome. And so you look and you say, wow, I wonder if I can give my speech as good as they did. But at the end of the day, you can't do that. You know why? Because they've been doing it a lot longer than you have. So you're just getting into it. So stop worrying about trying to do something better than someone else. Do you. Do you, be you. And guess what? You will grow in you. All right? I can't stress that enough because I see this all too often. I'm like, why are you trying to outdo them? You can't. They're who they are, and you're who you are. Just be the best person that you can be. So let's do a quick recap, and I promise I'll let you be. So today we talked about how to get out of your own way. And this is critical because too many times we are the reason why we don't succeed because we're in our own way. Stop doing that, y'all. Get out your own way and just move forward and do what you have been called to do. So we talked about number one, stop thinking you have to be perfect. Because like I said, you do not have to be perfect. I used to be that person that I wanted everything to be perfect, no matter what I was doing, no matter how big or small it was. I wanted it to be perfect, and I realized, Michelle, you don't have to be perfect all the time, sweetie. It's all right to make mistakes. That's how you learn. Number two, begin with the end in mind. And I talked about closing your eyes, taking a deep cleansing breath, and visualize the thing that you want to do being a success. Real quick, whenever I am training in the gym, before I do that first squat or that first deadlift or bring that bar down to do my first bench press, in my mind's eye, I see myself being successful with that lift or that attempt. So I've got to see it in my mind. So when I'm in that rack and I have that bar on my traps, in my mind's eye, I've now tuned out the whole gym. And you know, it's noisy in gyms, right? Then you have the music going, people talking. I tune all of that out and I don't hear anything. All I see in my mind's eye is me taking that breath, getting down in the bucket, exploding up. For however many reps that I have for that day. That's what you have to do. Begin with the end in mind. Number three, before you think about giving up, remember why you're doing it. Again, you have to know your why. If you don't have a why, you need to find one. And I believe we all have one. You just need to be clear about what that why is. Number four, if you start to get tired, remember you have people that are counting on you. So you cannot give up just because you're tired. Too many people are counting on you to be successful at what you're doing because number one, it's going to help you, but in some way, shape, or form, it's going to help them, even if it's just giving them that courage to say, hey, you know what? If Michelle can do it, I can do it. Number six, stop comparing yourself to other people. Can't stress that enough. You will never be Bob and I'll never be Susie, and they're never going to be me, and they're never going to be you. So stop comparing yourself to other people because you don't know their backstory. Again, when you see people who are doing good, they're smiling, they're on top of the world, you don't know what they had to go through to get there. And number six, as your bonus, stop causing yourself unnecessary stress and worrying about what someone else is doing and if they're going to do it better than you. That's the key takeaway in your bonus. Stop worrying about who's doing something better than you are. Because it could be that they're doing whatever it is better than you because they're putting in the work. And you're sitting back stressing and worrying about if they're going to be better than you. Well, they are because they're working harder than you. So that's all I have, you guys. Thank you so very much. Thank you to my newest subscribers. I love you guys to the moon and back. Thank you to those who continue to support me in all that I do. Again, if you have a topic that you want me to talk about, please reach out to me. And I will do my best to make that happen because ultimately my channel, I want it to be for you. These are topics that actually this topic I just gave today was something that came across my desk, and I thought, wow, that's very interesting. So when I have topics, sometimes they're topics that people have, asked me to talk about. Sometimes I have to research things. Sometimes it's something that I overheard somebody talking about, but I want to give you all things that are going to help you, that are beneficial to you. So that, again, is all I have. Love you guys to the moon and back. I want you to continue to be the awesome people that you are, but always remember, always remember that you need to get out of your own way. And until you do that, you're going to be limited in your thinking and limited in what you do. Until next time, take care.